the horizon trap. I feel a lot of people struggle with this, the depth of being content with where you are. You know, when I was first starting, I had a Canon EOS Rebel T100, and it was a great camera. I love that camera. It was a nice camera, you know? That camera and I against the world pretty much. The next thing you know, I got an EOS R. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a great camera. But the entire time I had the EOS R, I was always eyeing the R5. I love my EOS R. But imagine that shot on the R5. You know, I love my 50mm 1.2. But imagine it on an 85, you know? That 28 to 70 f2 is dope. The 24 to 105 2.8 is dope, but imagine on a 28 to 70 f2, okay? It's just, when I first started photography, I used to be content with where I was, but I'm just not anymore. And I don't even know if other photographers feel that way or if it's just me, you know? But I wish I could figure out the ability to be content with where I am because I'm already past a lot of other photographers my age, you know? I'm just now getting into like starting to educate other photographers on a topic that really needs to be taught. You know, a lot of people don't really understand how to shoot with off-camera flash at 12 o'clock, or even don't know how to shoot with off-camera flash in general, or shoot with off-camera flash outside too. You know, so that's one thing that I'm going to start teaching in my business, well, in a separate doing business under business. And another thing is business automation, you know, enterprise automation. Not a lot of people have their backends automated, which is something that I'm really good at. So like, it's currently been 6 days since I started this, since I had this idea, and I already have a podcast up and running. Like, this is the first podcast. It's quite insane the pace that I'm moving. I already have a website, a podcast, getting a photographer of the month, and just a whole lot of other backend. Like, the entire backend of the frame is already automated. By the way, it took Jphotos, well, me and Jphotos and I, we're kind of one, but anyway, Jphotos and I, 3 months in order to get our backend completely automated. I just took that framework and just flipped it on his head and just rebranded as the frame pretty much. So that's one thing. That's a whole rabbit hole I'm going down. Anyway, being content. Just stopping saying currently I have the R5. Just stop and be like, this R5 is amazing. You know, I'm glad I have the R5. Not many people have the R5. Let me believe that. Okay, let me believe not many people have the R5, okay? So yeah, that's that. Dang. Okay. What is this? Topic 6. What really makes me upset is being a high stress, low margin factory worker. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to a couple months ago before I automated Jphotos because really with Jphotos, I could make a lot of money, but just absolutely burn myself out when it comes down to the back end and editing images and responding to emails, making sure that people who message me get responded in a timely manner, stuff like that. So yeah, you might see like this absurd price, being like, oh my gosh, you charge $400. Oh my God, you charge $800, stuff like that. But most clients don't realize that it goes a lot further than that. Like a monthly overhead, don't even get me started about the softwares that are needed as a photographer, the insurance that is needed as a photographer, and everything like that. It's just, it really, like, let's just say you charge $400 an hour and then you only do a 1 hour shoot. So you only got $400, all right? But you're putting in 20 hours behind the scenes. That is like below minimum wage. That's insane, you know? So going back to that point before I had my systems automated, it was definitely like, I thought photography was going to make bank all the time. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to make thousands on thousands of thousands in a day, thousands in a week, hundreds of thousands in a month. No, no one told me this. So yeah, that's that. A very high stress, low margin. And people don't even understand the stress that photographers get put under.